Hi everybody. Okay, here it is. Down and dirty. Expired listing campaign. Time to look at bringing that back into our business. We're going to go old school on this one. So here are the steps. Step number 1 is to decide. Remember that in this market we don't list properties, we list sellers. So what's the profile of the seller that you are going to choose to work with? Because not everybody who wants to sell can sell in this marketplace. So if you're going to be looking at short sales, what are the requirements that the seller is going to have to meet in order to be short sale eligible? What geographic area do you want to work in? Are you going to use an expired listing campaign as part of your strategy for combating the falling sale prices? Do you want to raise your sale prices by targeting a specific geographic area? So decide, what area are you going to work in? Step number 2 then, on a daily basis, as part of your habits as a business person, you're going to pull the expired lists and see who's on there. Step number 3, here's the old school part, go to the house. Leave a card in the door, because a card in the door is going to stand out in this day and age, much like a handwritten note would stand out. People don't get a lot of handwritten notes. That's why they're so powerful. Not going to see a lot of cards in the door, and believe me, this is working for people around the country. On the back of the card, simply write, "Call me. I can get your property sold." Now, if you want to step that up a notch, make a flyer to attach with that, and simply put on the flyer pictures of 4 or 6 expireds that you have sold over the course of your career. Put the address of the property down and put a little sold stamp across the picture, and use a headline on it that says something like this: when the first realtor couldn't sell their home, these sellers called us. Do you think experience matters? You might want to add that to your business card. Okay, that's step number 3. Step number 4, understand that this is simply a tool to get the phone to ring. So when the phone rings, we need to be prepared with the questions, the scripts and dialogues that we're going to ask. Remember that your success going forward is going to be determined by your ability to ask the big questions, to make sure that you want to invest. Remember, we invest our time, not spend it. That you want to invest our time with this client, that you think there's going to be a reasonable likelihood of success. So we have to have a strong script and dialogue for when they do call, and this is what it might look like. The first question we're going to ask is a closed-ended question, which would say simply, is your home currently on the market? Because we want to have that information. That's a closed-ended. We're looking for a yes or no on that. Second question, we're going to loosen it up with, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. Maybe we'll say, so how long have you been on the market? How long have you been on the market? That's an open-ended question, and that loosens it up. We start to enter into a dialogue. We're addressing an unspoken concern. We're talking about how long the market has been. We're starting to get some information because they're going to open up to us. Third question is a big one. Why do you think it didn't sell? Now, you're taking the consultative role here. Why didn't it sell? Why do you think it didn't sell? And the answer to this question is going to start to give us a lot of information about the potential seller, and give us some background, give us some history, and give us some ideas on the way that we're going to need to tailor our approach to them. The final question is the big one. What will you do if the mortgage amount exceeds the sale price? We need to have some really good information about where they stand before we decide to make a further investment with them. Okay, so let's review. Time to look at expireds as a way to build our listing inventory. It's a proactive activity. We want to be building listing inventories in this market. The more listings we have, the more buyer calls that we're going to have, and as the market is starting to soften up, we are starting to see listings selling. Short sales are getting easier to close. Time to build listing inventory. look at expireds as a good way to do that. Step number 1 is to decide who is it that we're going to be working with, and in what area will they be, the geographic area. Number 2, pull the expired list on a daily basis. Number 3, doesn't get much trickier than this, go there. Put a card in the door. Write on the back of the card, call me, I can get your property sold. Maybe we want to attach that flyer that says that when the first realtor couldn't get their property sold, these sellers called us. Do you think experience matters? Again, this is only designed to get the phone to ring. When the phone rings, we have the 4 questions that we're going to ask them. Is your property currently on the market? How many years have you been on the market? Why do you think it didn't sell? What will you do if the mortgage amount exceeds the sale price? Okay, there you go. Down and dirty. Short and sweet. Now, get back to work.